Now, speaking of trends, I know the 13-inch MacBook Pro is probably the popular MacBook Pro. It's the one I see in public more frequently. It obviously starts at a lower price point as well when compared to what was the 15-inch MacBook Pro. Now it's the 16-inch MacBook Pro. In the video we shot upstairs, I was curious, okay, how long are people going to have to wait to get this iteration of MacBook in the 13-inch form factor? Because pretty much everyone is staying away from this butterfly keyboard situation for the time being. Or, well, not everyone, but it's kind of been the general consensus that there is an issue here, and you might end up at the Genius bar more often than you... Did they don't call it that anymore? I don't know. Did they get away from the Genius terminology?
I'm not too sure.
Are they still Geniuses?
The Apple Store in a while.
Because it might be... I don't know. Is it intimidating or... If they're geniuses, what are you? They still call it the Genius Bar. I don't think they're going to call it that forever. I'd be surprised if they call it that forever. Anyhow, as it stands today, if you've got this butterfly keyboard, there's a good chance you're going to meet a genius.
I don't know about that.
You know what I'm saying here. There's a good chance you're going to end up in the shop. And I said personally, I experienced issues with more than one device. You experience an issue with the device. So I could see 13-inch buyers being anxious to have this non-butterfly keyboard implemented in that form factor. Well, we now have a report that this keyboard switch, the switch of the keyboard switch, could happen in the first half of 2020. So not too far off if you can wait. And this comes from Digitimes, a Taiwanese publication. A lot of the laptop action actually happens in Taiwan. The report claims that the display size will remain at 13.3 inches, even though they could not completely rule out the idea of a potentially larger 14-inch display. Obviously, we went to the 16-inch. It would make sense. You go to the 14-inch on the little one, but it seems they're predicting they're going to stick to the 13.3 form factor. Maybe in doing so, that one can remain a more portable option. It's possible if they can do the same thing and trim the bezels. I will say, with the 16-inch, I was kind of hoping the screen to body would be a bit more aggressive, kind of like the MateBook product from Huawei. But it's not a deal breaker as far as I'm concerned. Apparently, the new 13-inch will follow suit with the physical escape key and the inverted T arrow key layout, which actually struck me. I didn't notice it in my early exposure to images of this device, but the key layout where the directional buttons are over here, up, down, left, right, it's altered pretty substantially. These are now half size, the left and right key, where they used to fill up this entire section of the keyboard deck. And so anyhow, I don't know if that's better or worse. I don't know about that, why that decision was made, but it is a departure from the old style. They're Willie Doo showing off the old style. I guess it's not a big deal because that section over there, it's not like it got filled by something else now that you might click accidentally. It still occupies the same space. It's just the key is smaller. So I don't know if that's better or worse. I'm sure anybody can get used to it, but that will also probably be implemented with the 13-inch version. Of course, you're going to get all the upgraded specs. You might see a slightly improved resolution on the display. You're getting the new keyboard. You'll probably get the new sound. So if you're waiting for the 13-inch, the rumor at the moment is first half 2020. Maybe you can hold out on a 15 now, save a few bucks. The 13-inch is probably going to be at least $700-800 cheaper to start than the 16-inch.